Salute, MobTube. How's everybody doing tonight? See who we've got in here. Tommy2274, Joey Dimes, Mr. Pickle, Miss Can't Be Wrong, Silo Ren. Thank you very much for that, Miss Can't Be Wrong. But tonight, I'd like to tell you guys about something else before we get started. I want to tell you guys about my new sponsor. Now, recently, I met a great couple from Northern PA. They told me what big fans they were and how much they enjoyed the show. Jerry, who grew up in Bensonhurst, was particularly interested in the mob genre and the history. They wanted to become a sponsor of this show, and we've been talking about it for a few months now. You probably heard me mention it before. We are all very excited about the launch of this brand. DMDY, pronounced Dimdy, means doing me, do you. And the message is very meaningful, but also very simple. Live your best life and let others live theirs. But there is a second component to the message, and that is while doing your best, also do the best you can for others. Check out the message and designs at dimdylife.com. That's dmdylife.com. There are dozens of designs, including exclusive MobTube designs. The designs are colorful, bright, and portray a positive message. There are also seasonal and holiday designs, and right now, the St. Patrick's Shamrocking gear is ready and available for delivery before the big day. These are really good people with a very positive message, and the designs are unique. Show your support for this channel and our first sponsor at dimdylife.com. That's dmdylife.com. And I put the link to their website in the description of this video. So, let's get started. I do want to tell you guys a little more about my new sponsor. As you can see, I'm wearing some Dimdy gear right now. This is a couple. Their names are Jerry and Tara. Very kind people. They suffered a tragedy in their lives, and they lost a son recently. It's a very horrible thing that took place, but in honor of their son, they've decided to start this line of shirts, which will eventually most likely be a full clothing line. So it's for a very good reason. There's a very good purpose behind it, and the message is very positive. Their son Brandon was a great kid. This is how he lived his life. That's how he saw things. You do me, you do you, I'll do me, and nobody bothers each other. He was a champion of the underdog, and he always wanted the best for everyone around him. So, once again, this is a clothing line in honor of the son that they lost not too long ago, and I'm proud to have them as a sponsor. So, I hope you guys go over to dimdylife.com. That's dmdylife.com, and find something you like and place an order. So, let's see what's going on in here. Who didn't I call out? Let's see where I left off. Nelson Pad 51. Yo, Adrian. Mary Ryan. Yes, Mary Ryan. We'll see. You know what? I never know what's going to happen on this show. So anything's possible. Anything's possible. Big Lou, Kazadich. Legion, what's up? Steve Cutler, Edward Everett, Tony Mack, Frank C., Mickey Griggs, Chicago Muscle, Johnny the Greek, OC, Gianni Catalano, Miss McGinnis, Joe Biggs. Thank you very much. He says, congrats on your sponsor. The Frog. Thank you. Jesse Roth says, congrats. Thank you very much, too. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you the truth. I'm not someone that was looking for a sponsor that really even had this on my mind. But after I met Jerry and Tara, I am actually very proud to be a part of what they're doing and to be a part of their movement. So I couldn't have asked for a better first sponsor. Thank you, Pink Veal. You can't see it, stand up. There you go. I have to stand the whole way up. And as you can see, that says salute on it because they did do several designs. If you look at the thumbnail of this video, It says for the love of MobTube on that particular design. They got a lot of stuff on there that's got the salute and MobTube, phrases, whatever, integrated into their designs. So go over to the website and check it out, guys. See what you think. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Paulie Walnuts, what's up? And thank you. Johnny the Greek says, welcome, Jerry and Tara. Sorry for your loss. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. FBS Tony is upset we don't hate each other. LMAO new video. Really? Well, listen, I don't know, um, I don't know who everybody is. I don't know what everybody's all about. I learn as I go, just like everybody else. But I know one thing: Chicago Muscle isn't messing with me at this point, so I have no reason to have a problem with him. I was on Lee's channel today, and he said he is getting shirts. Yeah, I heard all about that. Miss McGinnis, thank you very much. Everybody who said congratulations, thank you. Um, let's see. Thanks, Mad Dog Killers. So listen, guys, I want to talk some mob stuff tonight. I want to, as far as I know, right now, I'm not having anybody on. If anybody would like to join and talk some mob stuff, we can certainly do that. Just let me know in the chat. But I do want to get your opinions last night, or I'm sorry, your opinions tonight on last night's show, because I didn't go to the chat too much. Now, listen, a lot of people would say that the debate, the question that we were debating, maybe is ridiculous. Who knows? Like I said, I personally don't think Sammy the Bull had anything to do with the Frankie Decicco hit. For a lot of reasons, I just don't think so. But I do love the conversation, like I said earlier tonight, and I love debating or at least arguing the different points of what if he did, who would know about it, would it have been spoken about through somebody's 302s or testimony. So you guys tell me what you think, and maybe it'll lead to a different discussion. Hello, my love. You want to come say hi? Oh, what? I'm sorry, my beautiful. Hang on for a second, guys. All right, I'm back. Okay, wait. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Prayers out to the family. Sorry for your loss. That's very nice, Tommy2274. Thank you. I'm sure they'll be very grateful for that. Wait a minute. Joey Corona, you made about $8 last night in supers. Yeah, it's probably about right. Are you making fun of me, Joey? That's hurtful. Thank you, What's Real. Sling Blade, nah, I don't believe he had anything to do with that hit. No, I don't listen. I personally don't either. I think Sammy, with the position he was going to step into, I think he was fine with that at that point. I think that Sammy, being a part of that family and being right there with John Gotti and the higher ups, had everything he needed as far as the power and the names that he could certainly use to do any kind of construction deals, to get any kind of union control that he needed. I don't really think he was worried about necessarily becoming underboss right away. Um, Not to that extent. Plus, considering the Castellano hit took place just months before, I don't know if he would have made a move like that at that point, but it is possible. It's definitely possible. Um, and he was, without a doubt, in the drug business with gas pipe. As far as I'm concerned, he was. So could they have maybe together said, "Yeah, this is what we're going to do"? Sure. Now, being that they both flipped and that never came out, that makes it unlikely. And now, to be perfectly honest, Sammy, even if he was confessing to everything and talking about all his past crimes, I don't know if he'd want to admit to taking part in that or if even felt that he had to. And if Gaspipe, when he flipped, did put that in his 302s or mention it, I wouldn't doubt for a second if the FBI would bury it. See, everybody says, no, if he lied, they'll rip up his cooperation agreement. Nothing was going to make them rip up Sammy's cooperation agreement. Nothing, period. So I wouldn't be surprised if, no matter what they buried, I wouldn't be surprised, that they'd bury anything. So I do think it's possible. I just don't think it happened personally. Um, but I love the conversation of it all, like I said. And I love the fact that we don't know. And we'll never know for sure. Maybe a question that wasn't even raised before, that what we spoke about last night. It may be, but why not raise it? Don't bang your other toe. Oh man. Yeah, you know what? It feels a little better today. It's still hurt. It's still hurting. But I was able to put ACGs on today and get my ass out for a while. Sammy needed allies, and Decicco was only one he could trust implicitly as a friend too. Yes, I think so. I think so. Angela, hello. How are you? What's Tony Pizza's new channel's name? I have no idea. He didn't become underboss right away. He was consigliere before underboss. Yes, no, I know. But Jeff Canarsi's argument was that he was looking at that underboss spot. That's what Sammy was aiming for. But I honestly don't think at the time he was that concerned with his position that much. I think being a captain at first was just fine with him. You're out of order saying people from Scotland are bad people. What? Who said that? What are you talking about? Joey Corona. I'm not sure what's going on in here. Let me keep going. When Decicco was underboss, was Sammy not the consigliere at one time, not captain? Wait, what? I'm not sure what you mean, my friend. William McKenzie, you're out of order saying, what is this? What is he talking about? I did hear that Gas Pipe went to prison. He changed his nickname to Ass Pipe and no more the best of foods, the best of wines. Oh, you filthy animal. I think Sammy was behind it, but he could have been the one who gave Gas Pipe the info in the meeting. Do you mean you don't think Sammy was behind it, but he could be the one that gave Gas Pipe the info in the meeting? If that's what you mean, yeah, that's true too. Absolutely. He could have. I just found out. I just found Tony's channel, The Prince of Park Ave, but I didn't listen yet. I got to see what he said now. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I haven't kept up. Sam, oh, God, come on. Never say never. The Chin Mob Tube. Oh, look at this. Never say never. Exactly. That's better. Never know for sure. Exactly. Why not raise it? Leave Frankie in peace. Jesus. Yeah. Listen. I don't think we're disturbing him. Oh, Lee is sending his trolls over here. LOL, or they are Lee. I don't care about Lee or his trolls. William McKenzie, you're annoying the fuck out of me, bro. Why are you? Why do you keep repeating the same shit? I'm just gonna block you because you're a pain in my balls, for real. You're a pain in my gullions. Distraziad. Gravano claimed he didn't sell drugs under oath. There's a lot of evidence that he was in fact selling drugs. He wouldn't be the first person to lie under oath. No, this is the thing. If you read Gas Pipe, right? If you read that book, it even says, and this is how twisted. Listen. Maybe I'm fucking nuts. Maybe I see things ass backwards. I don't know. But to me, killing 19 people or being involved in the killings, in other words, that's permanent. They did take place. It's definitive killings. Like in other words, uh, it's not they weren't attempted murders. They weren't murder conspiracies. 19 people died, and Sammy had a hand in all of them. Right? I think that's worse. I think that's worse than being a drug dealer. Could just be me. I don't know, but the way they described it in Gas Pipe's book is Gas Pipe, the feds basically told Gas Pipe, like, look, um, we could absolve him. The public will absolve him or forgive him for 19 murders, but not for being a drug dealer. That's a step too far. So when Gas Pipe was trying to say Sammy was a drug dealer, they're saying, no, 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 you can't say that. And the reason is because the public will, they'll let it slide. The 19 murders, they'll be okay with us letting that go. But if he was a drug dealer, no, 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 the public they'd have a major problem with that. Really? Am I fucking from another planet or listen, I know that selling drugs can cause death and stuff, right? But we don't know that it did. In other words, it most likely did if Sammy was like a kingpin, but we don't know. We do know. That's why I said definitively. We do know that 19 people did die from him being involved in those murders. So I don't understand how I know the theory is, oh, the drugs on the street, how many people could have died or did die. No, we don't know. Probably a lot, but we don't know. We don't know if anybody died from Sammy's drugs. So, I don't know. We do know 19 people died from his other actions. So they were so fucking adamant about that. You cannot say he was a drug dealer. He sat on the stand. He testified that he was never involved with drugs and he never sold drugs. Um, Michael Genova by Joe Decicco saying that Sammy was involved in the car bombing is ratting because in that world you're not allowed to say that, especially on TV. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with that for sure. What the fuck is going on here? I'm not sure. Legion. FBS, I sent you the link and timestamp where Tony Trashcan accused you of saying you are sending Chicago to harass him. Actually, it's on Chicago Muscles channel. Listen, I didn't do anything wrong, man. I don't know what to say. I don't listen. I don't know if Tony decides he wants to turn on me again. Let him do it. I can't. I can't stop him. I really have no desire to go back and forth with Tony anymore. But I'm nobody else, guys. I'm not Chicago Muscle. I got nothing to do with Chicago Muscle. I'm just Chris. I'm just a fat bald Sicilian with some shit to say. That's all. Mad Dog Killers. I mean, when DeChico was killed, Sammy was consigliere already. Uh, was he not in a higher position than moved to underboss? It don't make sense. No, no, and consigliere is not higher than underboss. Underboss is higher than consigliere. I don't think Sammy was thinking that far down the road. And what if John didn't pick him for the position? Also, I'm not convinced Sammy was a huge drug dealer. I don't see why the feds cover it up. Well, like I just said, that's why. The feds really believed, according to Gaspipe, and I believe it because I know, look, just all you got to do is take the government and the way they treat drug dealers, right? The fucking sentencing guidelines are higher for drugs than anything else. Anything else. It's the most serious crime you can commit for some reason. I guess because there's so much tax free money. So the government, um, that's the one thing in their eyes that the public just wouldn't let slide. No, no, no. We can't say he's a drug dealer. Forget that he killed 19 people. But drug dealer, no, no, no. So Sammy said, I never sold drugs. Now, also, maybe the government didn't cover it up. Maybe Sammy just told them he never sold drugs. He was never caught for it. So maybe he just told them he didn't. Maybe Gaspipe telling them that Sammy sold drugs was news to them. And they just said, no, no, no. Whether it's true or not true, whatever, you can't say that because you testified that, or Sammy testified that he never sold drugs. Gotti had a hand in all of them too. He had to get permission. Well, not all of them. Certainly not all of them. Lately, you can get fewer years for rape, but if you're a drug dealer, you get years and years. Absolutely the truth. I told you, I had a friend got 33 fucking years in prison for selling crack, cocaine, and heroin. A few days later, there was a guy in the newspaper. He robbed three women, or I'm sorry, raped three women and robbed a bank. He got 4 to 8 years. Not 48, 4 to 8 years. Uh, it's unbelievable. What's the topic? Common sense. We're kind of going over last night's discussion a little bit. I'm getting people's opinions. We're talking mob shit. If you want to join me at any point, my friend, you know you're welcome. God damn it. I bet my life that Sammy has other murders he didn't cop to. I believe 100%. Yes, I'd be surprised if he didn't. Everyone, please hit the like and subscribe. Also, smash that bell for live notifications. It's free and helps the channel. Thank you. That is right. That is a free way to help me out. Please do that. If you don't hit the like button, you must send me $100 super chat right now. That's the deal. Bullshit. They all had a hand in it. All right, cool. Common sense. They all had a hand in what? I'm sorry. I'm behind on comments. What do you mean? Let me go down here a little. I know I'm missing some shit now, but drugs are to be reported on your tax return as of today in 2022. I saw it on Mr. Franzese show. Don't call yourself fat, bro, because you don't got your weight up. Slow yourself down. The hell are you talking about? The chin mob tube? It's a trip. Some charts will have consigliere between the boss and underboss as the number two position, and other charts will have the consigliere as the number three position. Yeah, the consigliere is the number three position, unless I've been missing something for the last 42 years. Um, I know one thing Sammy is in was so deep with the feds, he's probably more an agent than he ever was a gangster. Well, it seems like that's what happens, right? Like they almost get like a Stockholm syndrome. Remember they said that? What was it in The Sopranos? With Pussy all of a sudden trying to be real helpful and give him everything he could, and he started acting like as if he was an agent. My bail for DUI was 25,000. Holy shit, skinny guinea. God damn. Michael Genova, why on earth would Sammy leave anything out when he was clean for a day? I believe Sammy admitted everything, and I believe he admitted to Alan Kaiser also, and the feds covered it up. Well, there's things that people are ashamed of under any circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, even if you're confessing to 19 murders, there may be one or two or something in your past that you just don't want to. You just don't want to add. You don't think that any of these guys that did Queen for a Day kept some secrets? Yeah, drug charges are worse. They're worse than any fucking thing. You can commit murder and get way less time, depending on the degree and all that, than you would for drugs. It's fucking unreal. I've never seen anything like it. Others I saw second degree rape, 2,500 on a bail bond. Fucking disgusting. Oh, but where's the evidence? In 30 years, not one piece of paper came out saying that Sammy sold drugs. I understand the perception of drugs and everything, but gas pipes saying he did means nothing to me. Now, that I understand, Tony Bucks. I totally understand where you're coming from. I do. But I believe other people had said that Sammy was a drug dealer at one point, right? I think other people had kind of made that claim. I know I've heard it from other people on documentaries and shit. I mean, I listen, I don't know, but yeah, if you read Gas Pipe and you really put thought into it, Sammy the Bull is one greedy motherfucker. He always was. Go look at his merchandise and his website. He still is. um, I don't know if he could have stayed out of the drug thing. I mean, there's too much fucking money in it for him. So I don't know, but you're right though, Tony Ducks. But that's another good thing that I love about this is the debate and the conversation. I don't know. I mean, I just ever since I read Gas Pipe, I really and I know that Gas Pipe. I know Philip Carlo was like his, his neighbor and his friend, and he was biased when writing that book, absolutely. But I don't know. I just put it together, and to me, it makes sense that he was at one time. Now, was he during his reign? Was he when he was an underboss? I don't know about that. But at some point, yeah, as a made guy, he very, and even after the Castellano hit, I definitely think he might have been a major dealer for a while. Plus, you got to remember how a lot of these guys do it. I mean, Sammy being a drug dealer doesn't mean that he's out on the street pushing bricks, selling ounces, fucking, or anything else. Sammy could be look what he did in Arizona. There you go. There's an example. Look what he did in Arizona. Do you think Sammy ever touched an ecstasy pill or made a single sale? I bet you Sammy never even saw that ecstasy. Bet you he never even saw it. You can finance a drug operation, and that still makes you a drug dealer. You don't actually have to be out on the street making sales. So, could he have been buying major quantities of heroin, coke, whatever, marijuana the gas pipe was bringing in, and then letting somebody else pick up the shipment and break it down and do whatever they got to do? I think so. I don't believe it. The feds gave him a clean slate, so why hold back? Also, a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Unless they did know. Maybe he did tell them. How do we know? We're never going to see his 302s. Maybe he did tell them. And they said, no, no, no. We can't. We're not going to talk about that. Because, like I said, in their eyes, drug dealing is the ultimate sin, the ultimate crime. You can't do anything worse. Like I said, you could probably double that 19 to get a more realistic idea. It's very possible, yeah. Okay, FBS. Yeah, I thought Consig was higher than Underboss. If I'm wrong, my mistake. Consig is the boss's right hand man. Every chart I seen, Consig was second. Yeah, it is. Like Big Lou said, that they do that on some charts. I'm not sure why. Listen, maybe there's something I don't know, but I always knew Underboss to be the number two position. I personally feel that any sex crime with an adult should be life in prison with no protective custody, and any sex crime involving a child should be death. Agreed. Oh, you're saying I'm not fat. Well, thank you, Chan. I'm much fatter than I'd like to be. But yes, I know when most people see me standing up or something, they say, "Why do you call yourself Fat Bald Sicilian?" There's a couple of people on here though, like Joe Baeth. To hear him tell it, I'm like fucking Dom DeLuise. You know what I mean? I'm Vito Spatafora. I'm fucking huge. That fat fuck over there, the fucking guy. Well, he don't talk like that. I think Joe Baeth actually changed my name to the fat fuck. I think. I don't think he says FBS anymore. I believe Sammy admitted to Alan Kaiser, and the feds covered it up because they could have never used him otherwise. The public wouldn't allow it. Oh, sure. It's very possible. Absolutely. Again, the government and informants lie. Yes, it's that's what it comes down to. I mean, when people say, and I understand, I'm not arguing with anybody who says why would he leave it out or why would the government cover it up or any of that stuff. But the simple answer is you don't trust the government. I know a lot of people in this chat. You don't trust the government about anything they say, but then you question why they would lie about Sammy the Bull's past or his crimes. I mean, what do you mean? You think they lie about everything else? And probably right. So why wouldn't they? It's the government you're talking about, and it's not just the government. It's the government who was trying to convict John Gotti at all costs. At all costs. What wouldn't they do at that point? FBS a few months ago, Sammy said he pushed his grandmother down the steps and killed her because she was in pain. I know, but that was meant to be a joke, I believe. What was Gas Pipe's position at the time? Basically, underboss. To hear him tell it, he could have been boss, but he basically made a Musso boss, and he was kind of like his number two guy. Sammy's greed knows no bounds, bro. I agree. I agree. One thing Sammy the Bull was a thinker. If he was dealing, he didn't touch it. His crew might have been pushing it and kicking him down. Absolutely. Yeah, Sammy, you think Sammy's going near drugs, especially back then? Fuck no. No way. Lee's Prolapse Rectum. My new sponsor is Old Country Buffet. That's funny. And the bullshit reason that, oh, he had to be a drug dealer. Look, he goes to Arizona and starts an X ring. No, no. No, I don't think that the fact that he did what he did in Arizona necessarily means he was a drug dealer in the past. When I look at the probability of things, right? If I were to lay everything out, say this is what we know about Sammy, this is what we know about what's going on at the time, this is the kind of money that was involved. That we know that Sammy would kill his best fucking friend at the time to make a few extra bucks. It's just hard for me to believe that he wouldn't get involved in dealing drugs. It really is. Plus, there's been a lot of accusations about Sammy being a cocaine user, a major cocaine user, and everything else. So this is personal opinion, but the fact he was caught dealing after sliding on 19 murders makes me believe that wasn't his first chance. Yeah, I agree. I agree. No Fly Zone will be on tomorrow, 8, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's not all mob talk, though, a lot of different topics. That's what's up, man. And you guys are more than welcome, bro, to promote your channel on my channel anytime. I got love for Big Lou. Carlos has helped me out as a wrench in my chat for the longest time. So anything I can do to help you guys or help push your channel, I'm here for you, bro. Believe that. I don't think Sam even laid eyes on an ecstasy pill. Fuck no. How many of y'all think Sammy was a little sweet? I don't know. See, I'm the kind of guy. I guess I see that as such a big deal. If a guy is, I don't know, or a guy like that anyway, that I don't know. Maybe I don't want to believe it, but the beauty salon thing, beauty school, and all that weird shit. I mean, who knows? Sunday, it's funny how they do more crime under the government protection. Yeah. Well, you know why? You know why? Because I'm sure there's guys every day out in the street. Like I told you, I had a drug task force agent tell me once that if you want to be a successful drug dealer in New York City, you got to work with us. Now, that makes me think that it's almost like they're saying that as long as you're helping them in some way, they let things slide. I don't know, but um, I think that when people are under the protection of the government or a police force or FBI, whatever it may be, yeah, they feel that they have a license to steal, so to speak, because they're doing a job for people that don't want them, don't want them getting in trouble because they won't be useful to them anymore. Oh yeah, for sure, Captain Pool Party. I believe Sammy's son-in-law sold drugs, if I am mistaken. Yeah, I'm not sure. What kind of dude do Oh, Sammy's son-in-law. Oh. You mean the fuck was his name? David Seabrook? Yeah, he was part of the ecstasy ring. He absolutely did. What kind of dude do you think Sammy would be on ecstasy? That would probably be funny as shit. Listen, I don't know. Going with the earlier question of whether I think he's a little sweet or not, you never know. To sit down with Sammy, you probably have to sign a coincident. Yeah, I'm not even sure. A coincidentality cause. You are bald, though. I am definitely bald. Anyone know an old rich broad I can kidnap? Nah, Lee's prolapse rectum. Unfortunately, not. Nightmare 1503, Dom DeLuise. Yeah. SIP Alan Kaiser, absolutely. Just for the fact that Sammy was so damn greedy, even though he had a ton of different businesses, which meant and equaled a ton of money. That's why I kind of agree with him being involved with the DeCicos. Oh, the DeCicco bombing. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, that's another reason why it's a good conversation to have because would anybody really be shocked? Like, let's just say tomorrow it came out that he was involved with the bombing of Frank DeCicco. Would any of us be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it"? What? You mean Sammy killed one of his friends? Jesus, what are you going to tell me next? A Light lied? I can't believe it. FBS, do you believe in John Wolf's magic? I don't even believe in John Wolf. I don't even think he's a person. How about that? I took it a step further on your ways. The fastest motherfucker on YouTube is that fast slob Lee Cole. Do you mean fattest motherfucker on YouTube? Is that fast slob Lee Cole? Yes, yeah, I agree. People call you fat when they just aren't smart enough to think of anything else, especially in a case where the person isn't fat. Yeah, I know. That's there's people that aren't that clever on here. Are you calling the fat bald Sicilian fat? What are you going to call him next? Bald? It's almost like he thought about that when he created his dumb fucking name, right? FBS is so big when he sits around the house, he sits around the house. I'm informing on mob tubers. My FBI handle is Sabretooth. Um, do you know when Gas Pipe became the boss? Yeah, never. Never. Why can't we get Sammy's 302s under the Freedom of Information Act? Well, I've never tried, but I mean, I'm assuming because he's a protected witness and they want that shit under wraps, especially because it's Sammy. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can. I don't know. I believe in Wolf's magic. Salute. All right. All right. Let me see something. FBS was Gas Pipe's book good? It was fuck. Listen, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people talk shit about it. I thought it was fucking great. I loved that book. I love that book. I got it right. Yeah, it's right in there. You can't see it. It's between. Yeah, you can. It's between Westies and the Chin. Yeah, that book is great. I in 2016 when I got locked up, I was able to get a few books sent in to me. I got Mafia Prince, the Westies another inmate gave to me, Gas Pipe, the Chin, and Underboss. That might be it. And I read Gas Pipe like 4 or 5 times. FPS, why is Lee selling shirts? I have no idea. I don't know. Government worldwide are the biggest criminal, and when you try to copy them, you're done. Oh, yeah, they don't like that. Where did this whole Sammy was a drug dealer conversation come from anyway? Well, listen, a lot of people have made the accusation, but in Gaspipe's book, Gaspipe was a major, major, major drug dealer. He had shrimp haulers and fucking ships. You know what I mean? Brought here of everything, marijuana, cocaine, all that shit. And he obviously, when you're that big of a drug dealer, you need customers that buy big. You don't bring in ships full of cocaine and then sell fucking 8 balls. You know what I mean? So who's most likely going to be your customers? Other mob guys, other major drug dealers who have the kind of money to lay out for shit like that, or at least the kind of operation where they can move it all and pay you for it. So in Gaspipe's book, he said that Sammy was one of his biggest customers. That Sammy moved a ton of shit. Sammy was definitely into drugs. So was Gotti. It was all down on the down low. Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Joey Knuckles. This might have been brought up already. It must have been taken with a grain of salt. But didn't Gaspipe Casso say he sold to Sammy? Yep, absolutely he did. Sam was a sniffer. Do you think Jim the Gap and his Bath Avenue boys could have set up the old man Spiro to escape their murder charges? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean if they somehow decided not to do it the way they do it, and like instead they wore wires or something? I'm quite sure. I would think. What don't you believe for a second, Legion? Okay. About the yeah, I never really bought into that too much, but it was definitely brought up last night on the show a few times. Sammy talks about dudes being handsome and fit a lot. Yeah, a lot of guys are like that. I don't know. They like that forever young motherfucker. He's always talking about the way guys are built and look how ripped he is and all. Like what? The fuck are you? This is how you look at a guy. Then you stop looking. That's it. Look over. There's a guy. Look back. That's it. Do no more than that. Okay. Oh, there's a dude. What's up? You know what I mean? Keep it at that. Vinny Gorgeous owned beauty salons, hence how he got his handle. Yes, he certainly did. That is correct. What's real? Gotti knew Sammy was involved in drugs as underboss. How would he not? Made them all big coin. Well, I think you don't think every boss just turned their head. Of course they did. I think that rule of you deal you die. It was more of a like or when the bosses would tell their underlings whatever, don't get involved in drugs. What they were really saying is don't get caught, because then we got to do something about it. Yeah, he did miss Can't Be Wrong. It was very odd. Again, show me the proof that Sammy was having a relationship with his brother-in-law and another guy. How the hell does that not come out? Yeah, I don't know about that. Why do a lot of mob guys refuse to admit that they do drugs? I understand they would lie about selling it because of the rule that was made in 1957, sell and die, but to use drugs, come on, I know they used. Yeah, of course. But, it's that thing, like the stigma of, you know, being somebody who's ever done drugs is like, oh my God, you're a bad guy. If I was Karen's boyfriend, I'd be on drugs too. Jimmy Clanger, a Bath Avenue story. I know the truth. I spoke with Sammy about all that. What's up to everyone in the chat? Well, that's fill me in sometime, Jimmy. I want to know the truth. Oh my God, that's fucking asking me silly questions. FPS, that was a low blow for doxing Joe with his number, address, and wife's name. He's supposed to address it in 10 minutes. Well, what are you telling me for? Who did that? Rick the Tank, $2. Thank you very much. I can see Sammy singing Beauty School Dropout on Tito. Um, what am I being blamed for that now? Joe got doxxed or something, and it's my fault. Everything else is. I mean, why not? No, fuck no. But is that? Am I being blamed? I'm curious. Fucking leaves a prolapsed rectum. You're a sick bastard. In the mob, if you're on drugs, it's considered weakness, and everything in that life is about strength. Very true. I'm concerned about this war. They might shut down RatTube. I don't know what RatTube is. I have no idea what that is, but who, what war? What the fuck are you talking about? Uh, oh, is that what it is? Am I being blamed? Okay. Well, first of all, how the fuck would I have ever even gotten his address? Listen, when you make friends with trolls and shit like that, guess what? They're eventually going to do shit like that to you. So, and they've managed, Bay 8th has managed to make friends with all the trolls. Look at Lee. Everybody in his chat that has a wrench is a troll. They're all trolls. Like these guys. That's what they want to do. They want to befriend these faceless, nameless motherfuckers, and then they're surprised when shit happens. They said you did it. Oh yeah, I highly doubt that. That's you telling me they said I did it. Why should I believe that? I mean, I could see them blaming me. I don't think FBS would either. No, of course not. Let's see. How do I feel about being one of the realest on MobTube? Just great. I wake up every day and I'm like, look at me. Joe is thirsty as hell. It's actually hard to watch. Good dude, probably, but damn, dude. Yeah, it's weird, man. Do I think Luciano worked with the CIA? Yes, most likely. Common sense says, will Jimmy come on and discuss his opinion on it? I doubt it. Jimmy never comes on my show anymore. I don't know. You know the war where all mob tubers got to the mouses. What the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't know about the CIA, but I think it's a well documented fact he helped the government during the war to get released for sure. I think that's pretty historically detailed from what I have found. Well, and there is definitely a history of mobsters working with the CIA. FBS, you are the king of MobTube. Why does Cole try to compete? I don't know. Well, I don't know. There's only one person saying that they're saying that I did it. But listen, I don't care either fucking way. If you're going to make an accusation, prove it. I like to consider myself a comment creator. That's very, very clever. Smash that like button for your boy FBS. Yeah, do that, please. Ciao, FBS. I've been working on a time sensitive construction project and putting in long hours, so I've been missing most of your live shows since the holidays. How you been, Paisan? I've been good, and I hope you've been well too. It sounds like you're busy. That's better than not being busy. Anyone that talks to MB and Lee gets screwed. That's what happens, Joe. Of course. Yeah, I don't think Jimmy wants to come on, but I'll drop a link just in case. Bruno. FPS, have you ever watched Narcos, Mexico on Netflix? Now those guys, nah, I'm not really interested in that shit. Cole is the YouTube version of Honey Boo Boo. Sounds about right. Sammy took down the mafia, routed 37 mob members, putting her family into drugs, killing 19, 16-year-old. Biggest liar. Is there anything else to say on that shit? I think you covered it all. Never will I watch Bay 8th unless he talks about the card business. Otherwise, his show is horribleness. FPS. Did Lee say Gene Barello was the biggest gangster? He acted like he was. Who is this? I'm trying to see. It's not Jimmy. Wait a minute. Hold on one second, guys. Jimmy, is that you waiting to get in? I can already see this is somebody showing their ceiling or something. It's probably ceiling's finest. When did Borello join the mafia? Never. He has yet to. Joining the mafia means that you fucking got made. No, I know that's you, Common Sense. Yeah, I'll bring Common Sense on right now. What's up, my friend? Oh, the fuck happened? Liam O'Connor, do you think it's okay to pour liquor? Shut up. I'm not gonna fucking read that. This is somebody's opinion. Um, because you smoke cigarettes in your rental. In my rental. You mean the house that Shanna has owned for like 8 years now? Hold on one sec. You mean the house Shanna has owned for 8 years now? And smoking cigarette. Bro, what fucking let me ask you something. If your wife was really a nurse, she would not let that happen. Oh well, I guess she must not be a nurse. I don't know what she's doing at work every day. I don't know why she's wearing scrubs to work and making like $35 an hour. I wonder what she does if she's not a nurse. She's been lying to me all this time. Yeah, that's not Jimmy. I'll bring Common Sense on. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Chilling.
Those things. But Jimmy's coming on?
No, I don't think that's him. There's somebody down here, but they won't show their face.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's probably not Jimmy then. I
You
don't
want to
think he'll
bet
do
it's
that.
BK Shallon Finest? Watch this. BK.
No, that's not BK. That's
Salute,
probably.
Maktub.
I think
This
that's
is my jerk
Ish,
off,
Ishmael the incel, probably.
probably. Hold on. Let me read a couple of comments right here.
Sure.
Big ass phone. It's the Galaxy S21. So yeah, somebody has a comment. Listen to this. Common sense. Can I ask you a fucking question, bro?
What's up?
No. If what are these people that are obsessed with the smoking in the house thing? Am I from another fucking planet, bro? Like, I don't know. The way I grew up, I didn't know a fucking person who didn't smoke in their house. I don't understand. My parents smoked in the house. Everybody, now there's one room in the house we smoke in. This one with the
Yeah.
window, it's wide open right there.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, that wasn't well. Obviously, it wasn't Jimmy. This guy is like bitching about us smoking in the house, bro. I don't understand. When are these people from? Like, is that a no? I don't get it.
I mean, growing up, I didn't really have anybody in my family who smoked. I don't think I smoke now, but we have like we'll smoke in my garage. I won't smoke in my actual house though. But I mean, my grandfather, he would smoke cigars, but they had like a little designated room, kind of like what you're talking about, where they would smoke. You know what I mean?
Of
Not
course,
like all throughout the house. You know what I'm saying?
it's just
I don't.
strange. I wonder
Probably
what
just something for them to talk shit about. Probably they probably do it themselves, dude.
I don't understand like where these people, what time frame they come from. Like my dad, bro, there's a picture of my dad in the hospital with my mom right after she gave birth to me, and he's smoking a fucking cigarette in the hospital bed next to her.
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I remember the stores in New York and shit. You could go in the fucking the record stores, everything else. I used to go in the music stop on 86th Street and smoke cigarettes while I was looking for records. Like, I mean, I
Oh, for
don't.
sure.
Yeah, people act with smoking, bro, like you're shooting heroin. Like, how could you do that in your home?
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up and take that shit somewhere else.
yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's a little bit over the top for sure, man. I think there's just something for somebody to nitpick on. Either they don't do it or they're just fucking talking shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know, you know. Meanwhile, he's probably got a scotch in his hand, probably doing a
Right.
couple lines.
Yeah. Probably
Uh,
fucking smokes a pack in each room.
yeah. So,
You know.
what are you thinking, man? What are you? Is there
No,
anything?
I actually, just to clear one thing up, I saw Jimmy's comment about the Lucky Luciano thing with the CIA, and yeah, I think it's well documented that he definitely helped the government at the time. But if I'm correct, I'm not 100%. Maybe somebody can look it up quick, but I'm pretty sure that Luciano got out of prison in like late 45, early 46, and I don't think the CIA was even formed until like 47, 48 after the war ended.
I thought he got out in 47.
No, I think it was before. He got out shortly after the war culminated. Look it up. I think it's either late 45 or early 46, and I don't think the CIA started until like 47 or 48 afterwards. You have to look it up though. I can't do it on my thing because it'll kick me off.
Hold on. Let's see. 1962. Hold on. Okay, 1946. For his alleged wartime cooperation, his sentence was commuted on the condition that he be deported to Italy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so
And that was early 46, right?
it just says in 46.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it was early, but either way, and then I don't think the CIA was even formed until a year or two later after the war and all that stuff. But so
Yeah.
I don't know if they were even an organization at that time, unless they were something else before that. But I don't think so though. But either way, he definitely helped the government.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. Let me see. So I'm gonna put my earbuds in here, bro.
Sure.
Hold on. It makes it the sound isn't fucked up then.
Yeah, I think the volume of my earbuds is like really loud when I talk for some reason. I don't know how to adjust it though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I listened to some of the show back from yesterday, and it seemed like I was a lot louder than everybody, but I think it was my audio, my earbuds I had in. Not sure of them. So
Yeah.
is it? So Tony Duck says, is it fair to call Luciano an informant? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, technically, he wasn't really informing on like members of the mafia or anything like that. He was helping the the troops and the government with the ships and stuff like that were coming out of Italy and Sicily, like the routes they were taking. I believe it was something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's a question that, everybody's going to have a different opinion on. I wouldn't call him an informant, but
Yeah. But there's been plenty of those guys back then that definitely did it for sure. If they didn't kill you, they fucking
oh,
told on you, you know?
oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, man.
Oh yeah, they're Davis Dean, CIA, 1947. Yeah, that's what I thought, something like that. Yeah, so I don't think they were even around when he was doing that. So, but either way, doesn't really make a difference.
No,
So
but
I
that's
was
another good
reading, I was
conversation
reading
to
some
have.
stuff from our combo yesterday, right? And I was trying to catch up to see what Casso had cooperated against regarding the whole Decicco bomb plot thing. And
Uh-huh.
I forgot that in his cooperation, he was when they were asking him, who the liaison was that told them about where Gotti was going to be and all that. He actually had fingered Danny Marino in that bomb plot.
Who, Sammy did?
Casso did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Danny Marino was one of the guys that both Gotti Senior and Junior Gotti had a lot of problems with.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but then again, the only thing that you have to question is, it is coming from Castro, and Danny Marino was also Heidel's uncle. So, did he have, was he trying to get him killed? You know what I mean? How much truth can you put on that?
Yeah, I know. I know. I
That's
don't know, man. It's a tough one, bro, when it comes to all of Gas Pipe's information. But it seemed, bro, it seemed like he was so. You read Gas Pipe, right?
yeah, years ago.
Bro, it seemed like he was so fucking like almost excited to give up all this information and stuff. That like I mean, he went in telling them every fucking all kinds of shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
it almost makes you think that everything he said was probably true because he just didn't give a fuck at that point. As soon as he decided to flip right away, and he was like 5 years. What do you need to know?
Yeah, he wanted that Sammy deal, man.
Yeah, bro, that's exactly what he said to the feds.
Yeah, and I think one of the key revelations, when he did the 60 Minutes interview with Ed Bradley, is when they were asking him, why did Bradley had asked him at one point, why did you, cooperate? That's not what you guys are supposed to do. And Castle pretty much said, like, the writing was on the wall, all the old timers was gone. I saw where this thing was going, and I wanted to just get my last few years on the streets as a, free
Yep.
guy, basically. So at that point, is this guy gonna go in there and fucking tell him a whole bunch of fucking lies and do all this shit and destroy his own deal in the process? Because when you go in there, the whole premise is that you're telling the truth, and when they look up, fact check what you're giving them, you lie about one thing, they tear your fucking agreement up, and you're on your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why? So why would he go in there and make up a whole bunch of fucking shit when they already had kind of conflicting information from previous cooperators like Gravano in this case? Why would he go in there and then tell them all this other crap? Because I don't believe that Gravano had ever even mentioned anything about Danny Marino being involved in that the Chico thing with Castle. Because I really don't think that he knew. Because I don't think they knew at the time exactly what had happened. To be honest with you.
No, I agree. But it's funny because the prosecutor said, when they talked about ripping up his cooperation agreement, she said, a lot of the reason was because he lied about other government witnesses and stuff. But obviously, one of the things she was talking about was Sammy being a drug dealer. But how the fuck could you know that? How could you know for sure he was lying? But there was some things, though. I don't know if you remember this, but there was some things, bro. Gas Pipe said certain things happened, and they said to hear them tell it that they checked times and dates and all this shit, and they went back and questioned people and blah blah blah. And some of the things that he claimed happened were impossible.
Really? Like, do you have an example of one? Do you remember one specifically?
Bro, I read about it and I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll come back tomorrow with them. but there were certain things
Yeah.
that he put people in certain places at certain times, and they couldn't have been there. Like it was found out through
Oh,
investigation. You know what I mean? Like the
I
people
see
were
what you're
locked
saying.
up. Like one guy was
Yeah.
locked up, and gas pipe put him at the scene of a murder, and the guy was in federal
Uh,
prison,
yeah. Kind of
like
something
that.
like A-Light would do.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Let me change the year. It wasn't 91. It was 93. Was he
Yeah.
out then? Does that work? Does that date work for you guys? Does that work?
Bro, the other day, right, I had my phone just playing shit in the car. Like, I keep all my music and shit on there. And somehow it went to the audio clip because I had it in my phone of when Stephen Gillen asked John Alight about Frankie DeCicco, or as he pronounced it, Frankie DeCicco.
Yeah, yeah,
And Alight said,
yeah,
yeah, he was in that Ravenite tape. And
yeah, yeah.
the fucking
The ghost.
Ravenite
It
tape
was
was
the
from
ghost of the
19.
Chico.
Yeah, the Ravenite tape was from 1990. DeCicco died in 86. And then
Yeah,
to cover it up later on, he says, oh, that's because I thought they were talking about Georgie DeCicco. No, no, no. You said, Stephen Gillen said to you that he had been killed by a car bomb. And fucking A-Light said, yeah, he was in that video. So
yeah,
I don't think we mistook him for a different DeCicco.
yeah, yeah. He tried to backtrack and say, "Oh, I know the difference between Joe and George and all these guys." Like, no, the fuck you don't, dude. You're an idiot.
Let's see. Tony Duck says, wait a minute. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Tony Duck
highlight
says,
that.
according to Sammy, Danny Marino was at the scene of the DeCicco bombing, and Marino and Jimmy Brown Fiala just kind of left.
Yeah, I believe they were at Jimmy Brown's club, weren't they?
Possibly, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think the meeting was at Jimmy Brown's club because they were asking Casso, like, how did you guys know about the meeting? And that's how Casso had told the government that, yeah, well, Danny Marino went to the chin basically and defected, because he was pissed off about the Castellano thing too, because Danny Marino and Jimmy Brown and those guys were old timers came up with Castellano. They had a lot of
Yeah,
respect for him and they had high positions in the family. Those guys were massive guys in the Gambino family at the time. I mean, they still were all the way up until even when Junior was a boss allegedly. So I'm under the suspicion that there had to be some merit to what he was claiming on there, because how otherwise would they have known where they were going to be at that meeting at that time? And the way the whole thing went down, it just seems to me that that's the most plausible explanation I have. But then, like I said before, though, the only thing that you have to question though is, I'm sure the guy didn't like Danny Marino very much, knowing that his fucking, nephew was the guy that shot him on orders from Ruggiero.
yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
But what specific part?
About him saying that Danny Marino was the guy that, told him about where they were going to be and defected.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's possible. It makes sense, right? Don't you
I,
think
I
so?
I think so, yeah. I think it makes sense. And I believe that they thought that it was something like that too, from the problems that they had, because I know that
Yeah.
him and Gotti weren't on the best of terms for a while there, and I was assuming that it was over that, because I think Joe Watts was really close with Danny Marino too, and I know that towards the end of Junior's time on the streets, they even were gonna try to kill Watts and Danny Marino at one time over the Big Apple construction beef that they had. But there was underlying issues that they had, long before that from the father, because he thought that he was responsible for the DeCicco shit. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's that makes sense to me. Like, I just, I don't know. I don't know.
I think unfortunately it's going to be one of those things about who do you believe, and I guess just what your opinion is in all reality. But
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's like everything else. Like something like that. I think. I don't know. I think something like that is easy to believe. I just don't know about the whole Sammy thing being part of any of it.
yeah, I personally don't believe that that's true. It just doesn't make any sense in my opinion. But I know that there was guys there that said that Gravano had left pretty much right away, and then Gravano comes on and tells the story about how he helped, try to get Frankie out of the car and all this other shit. But there
Yeah.
was other people and witnesses that were there that said that he was like standing out in the front of the window, like kind of watching. And when it happened, he fucking got up and left like right away before the, cops and ambulance and everything came. So
Well,
what is
yeah.
that about?
Well, wasn't it an underboss that Sammy described that he ran over, that Frank Decicco was already on the ground and he tried to pick him up, and like he was just skin basically, like there was no blood.
Yeah.
Sammy said he tried to pick him up. There wasn't even a spot of blood on his shirt. Like the
Yep.
bomb had blown the fucking blood right out of Frank Decicco's body.
Yeah. All the fluids. He said there was nothing left. Yeah. And then Frankie Hart's Bellino, that was a couple of feet back from him, I think got his foot or a couple of his toes blown off in that bomb blast. But here's the interesting thing, Frankie Hart's Bellino was a Lucchese guy.
Yeah.
And the guy Herbie, I think it was Herbert or Herbie Pate, that was the one that detonated the bomb. I think that when Castro did his cooperation, he said that they had used the West Side, the Westies, to put that together. So I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had originally contacted one of the Westies to put that together with the bombing, and then they wound up using Herbie Pate, and Herbie Pate was a Genovese associate, a drug dealer and Genovese associate. So if he's the one that detonated the bomb, and he's a Genovese guy, and you got two Lucchese guys, and one guy cooperates and said that this is what happened, I'm under the suspicion that the story that we have is the correct one, and that Gravano really didn't have anything to do with it, and it probably was Danny Marino that tipped them off and gave it up.
Yeah. Do you think that it was meant for John Gotti?
Oh, 100%.
Because there is the argument. That's another argument that would have been a great one to have, especially like last night. There is the argument that it wasn't, that it was, that it had nothing to do with John Gotti.
Well, I think that, so what I'm going by with the Castro thing, that Marino tipped these guys off and said that there's going to be a meeting at Jimmy Brown's at that club there, that Gotti would be there, Decicco would be there, other captains and other people. It was basically a meeting, when they had just taken over the family. You have to remember the time, that was early 86 when this all just happened. Gotti was still trying to make sure he had everybody in line. He was out on the streets. He didn't want to be like Paul and not have relationships with his guys, So he was still working on building those relationships with everybody. But you still had branches of the family that were probably wondering, what's going to go on. You had guys like Tommy Gambino that was probably worried about getting hit. I think that Sammy has spoken about that before. And then you probably have other guys like I said, Jimmy Brown and Danny Marino and that faction of the family who probably were at, in limbo at that time, that Gotti was trying to make peace with. So in my opinion, it would make sense that if Danny Marino was going to tip him off, he consolidates with the Chin and with the Lucchese family. I'll help you guys, get revenge for the Castellano thing, and I'll take over the family with a guy like, Jimmy Brown or somebody,
Yeah. So do you think, though, because, listen, I've only heard it from certain people, that the argument that maybe it wasn't meant for John Gotti at all, and that it was actually something between Gas Pipe and Frank Decicco. I've heard different arguments, but do you I believe 100% that it was meant for John Gotti, but you really think they just mistook Frankie Hart's for John Gotti that day?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was two informants, and even Castro himself, that had said that when they had talked to Pate about it, Pate really didn't know who. I mean, obviously everybody knew what Gotti looked like, but I don't think he really was close enough or was able to see. And they said that Frankie Hart's from a distance. Can you pull a picture of him up?
Yeah.
They said from a distance he kind of would have looked like him,
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can't seem to find one. I tried to look one up the other day too.
Yeah, there's not a ton of them. I think I've seen one or two.
Yeah, I know I saw one before, and there's definitely a resemblance. Like if you're
100%.
Even a block or two away, you could definitely mistake him for John Gotti.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, what Casso and I forget the other two people that talked about it said that, but they pretty much said it was, mistaken identity, and the guy, obviously let the bomb off thinking that it was Gotti that was there, and it turned out to be one of their own guys, which I also found weird. Why was there a Lucchese guy there at the club? You know what I mean? That's the other question. What was he doing there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if anybody's ever spoken about that or figured that part out, because that's kind of bizarre when you think about it,
Yeah, it
If you're
doesn't make
having a
sense. 'Cause-
yeah, if you're having a meeting with all your Gambino guys at the club, almost like the Borgata's meeting, they're the upper echelons of the family, the captains. What is a fucking Lucchese guy doing at the club with you walking out of there with Frankie Decicco, you know?
yeah, it's a good question. Let me see something. Abuela Montanese says, plus if he is with the Chico, you assume he's Gotti. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, probably, but I mean, especially because of the meeting that was taking place, and that's how they had it planned. They expected to see Gotti, but yeah, the
Hmm.
one picture I remember seeing of Frankie Hart's because I can picture him going by weight, stature, all that shit, his hair. It
Yeah.
definitely could have been. There's no doubt that he could have been mistaken for Gotti.
Yeah, they definitely had
Um,
a resemblance. And they said that the distance that he was away, it would have been pretty much, regardless of maybe the suit the guy was wearing, you probably couldn't have been able to tell who it was, you know?
yeah, yep,
Especially when he's not familiar with the guy, you know what I mean? Because
yep.
they used the Herbie Pate guy because, these guys, probably wouldn't ever recognize who he was standing outside on the block waiting for them to come out either. So they wouldn't have been suspicious of him, you know?
That's true. Let's see. D Slapnut says, I believe Gotti served Angelo up to gas pipe. It was a win-win for Gotti. One quack quack gets job done. Two gas pipe clips, whack whack, and deadweight got what the fuck? Gotti got
What the
rid,
hell?
no hands, dirt. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's saying,
He served Angelo up to gas. You didn't serve him up to
bro.
fucking gas
No,
pipe. You wouldn't even let him get near him.
no.
But
Yeah, he
this is
put
the
him on
other
the
thing.
fucking shelf.
Yeah, but the other thing too is that after the Heidel murder, Ruggiero that whole time was out on an appeals case for the heroin case that they had with Gene Gotti and Johnny Carnig. Those guys I think got one or two hung juries, or they were out, yeah, two hung juries before they went in. But on the second time that case went around, they had remanded Ruggiero to prison, and he was there with no bond in all of '86, I believe, until he came out shortly later, and then he died, I think, in '87 shortly after that. So I
Yeah,
don't think Castro ever even had a chance or time to even seek revenge on Ruggiero, even if he wanted to.
that's true. Hold on, John DeLuca. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Let me see. Why are people counting my Joey Corona $2 made? But why are you counting my super chats? The fuck is your
Fucking
problem?
weird, man.
I know. Let me see. There was something I wanted to pull up. The fuck with Tony Duck says, "Yeah, I take no stock in Joe DeChico saying Sammy killed Frankie. He didn't say it till 6 years later." Now, was that the same clip when Joe DeChico says that? Was that the
Yep.
same clip where he talks about
The
Shibata
hand. The
and
hand.
the hand, the dog? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that was
the
the same
dog.
one. Yeah, he did that. He did that interview. I believe right before Gravano was going to be testifying in the Gotti trial, because the reporter pretty much had asked him at that point. He says, I thank you for this interview. Usually guys of your stature don't sit down and talk about much. Thank you for being here. And Joe says, well, basically I wanted to be here to explain, what type of fucking piece of shit Gravano was. Basically, this is a
Yeah,
guy who fucking murdered his own brother-in-law. His family found out their brother died, and he did it because he came into the living room with the brother's hand in the dog's mouth. But that wasn't true though. But it was funny though.
no, of course not. But it was
Yeah,
hilarious. That's
yeah, it's
and
funny though.
with that voice and the suit, Joe
Oh, the
DeChico is the
best,
most
the best.
Joe DeChico was the most gangster looking gangster I've ever seen in my fucking life, bro. If
Oh
you
yeah,
ask
his
me,
brother too. Was his
oh
brother or
yeah,
his nephew George?
George
I think he
George
was
was
their
his
uncle, right?
nephew.
Yeah, the nephew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
okay,
was
yeah.
the uncle. Yeah,
Hmm.
that bro, that everything, the way he looked, the way he sounded. If there was one person, if you were to say, tell me one person that looked like more of a gangster than John Gotti, Joe DeChico.
Yeah, Joe DiCicco for sure. Yeah, he yeah
Bro,
he
that
played he
dude,
played the part for sure, straight out of Central Casting, 100%,
bro,
hundred
that
percent.
that that dude is not going anywhere and being mistaken for anything other than a mob guy. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
fucking way.
He yeah he's what you call wearing it.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah, he
bro.
wore it for sure. That voice he had too, that gravelly, like, you know what I mean, with the accent, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that was great.
agree. Yeah, that was. I love those fucking clips. Why are Joey Corona? Why are you on my dick? Let me help you out here, bro. Goodbye.
I believe Joe DiCicco was a made guy. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
He was
yeah,
a
he
he was
definitely
a
was.
captain, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think either Joe or Joe, and then his nephew George later on was, and Frank Decicco was a captain too. The whole family, they had like 3 generations, and like every cousin and brother, nephew and uncle, and their whole family was pretty much in the mob.
Bro, it was like a
You
mafia
know?
dynasty, bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%. Yeah,
they,
that was a real powerful family right there
yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
Damian Knox, I think Sammy the Rat 100% knew what was going to happen and want DeChico out of the way to take over his spot. See, this is my argument, common sense. If that's the case, let's just say Sammy knew about it. Like
Hmm.
what Canarsie was saying last night, he thinks that Sammy was gunning for that underboss spot. I don't think so, bro. I think where Sammy
No.
was at the time was fine with him. Sammy was so wrapped up in his his money making schemes, his construction and all that shit. And I think he knew that he was going to have everything he needed just being exactly where he was. And honestly, to an extent, I believe that Sammy would have rather not even had the higher up position just because of the heat it brought down.
Well, yeah, this guy was making a ton of money. He was in all sorts of different industries in the construction business. He had basically become a captain at that point. He was a really powerful guy in the family, and he had
Yeah.
pretty much, a guy that he looked up to and a right hand man in DeChico. Those are both Brooklyn guys. As the guy who was the underboss in the family, that according to him, if everything else is true with the Castellano hit and all the other stuff that they had going on the streets, those 2 guys were responsible for even elevating Gotti to the position that where he was at. So he was in good favor at that time with these guys. Why would he need to go and start an even bigger problem by killing one of them to move up a spot to become underboss? I don't get it.
Not only
Doesn't
that,
make
but
any
he
sense.
might not have even been guaranteed underboss at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, on a chance that you might get there, on a whim. You know what I mean? Who says that they don't turn around and then kill you and the other guy? You know what I mean? You don't. That's
yeah,
not guaranteed. What if you
no,
failed and
no,
botched the attempt and they come back and kill you? I mean, if Gravano or Decicco or any of those guys wanted to make a move on Gotti, he was strong. He had a lot of guys on the streets. He had family in the street and shit like that. It wouldn't have been an easy task for anybody. It would have been an all-out war for sure.
definitely. You know what I'm gonna do, bro? Hold on. Let's we'll keep chatting here. I'm gonna pull something up and put it on the screen. I love doing this.
You can pull up the interview.
I'm gonna pull up a little Joe DeChico.
Yeah, pull that up. That's great. I've watched that so many times. It's hilarious. He's the
Oh my
best.
god, he is, bro. You remember the ice cream truck?
Which one's that?
At the end, him and Peter Gotti outside at the fucking ice
Oh,
cream truck, and they
yeah,
asked the
yeah.
reporter if they want
If you
anything.
wanted one, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Is that not the
Wait, that was
best thing
Joe.
you
That
ever
was Joe
saw?
or George? Was that Joe or George at the ice cream truck?
That was
That was
Joe.
Joe. Oh, it was
Yeah,
Joe. Oh, okay.
that was the
Gotcha.
best fucking thing I ever saw, bro.
Peter was a big guy, huh? He's pretty tall.
Casino
Yeah, he
is
was.
heading into overtime with all new exclusive Eagles
Because I don't think Gene or John are very tall. I think they were maybe like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. It seemed like Peter was like 6 foot something, no?
Yeah, John, I believe, was about the same.
Yeah,
Hold on, what just happened here?
the Eagles. The fuck?
Joe, it's rather
Oh, there it
unusual
is.
that somebody who travels in your circles decides to go on camera and talk to us. Why are you here?
I'm here because I want the public to know the truth
The truth about
about what this man Sammy Bill really is.
Gravano.
That's right. I know him since he's been a little kid. I watched him grow up and I see the things he's done in life. And I know his one purpose in life was to be a greedy looking lion, rat, stool pigeon that
I love this
is.
guy.
In another
Yeah,
life,
he's the
Joe
best.
would be called a Runyon-esque character. In this life, he has come under scrutiny by the cops, who believe he is a mobster, although one from the old school. He has been at John Gotti's trial every day, where he has watched Sammy Gravano testify against his former partner. He knows both Gravano and Gotti quite well. Did this shock you when you found out that he was cooperating
Sure, it
with the government?
shocks me because I know that had to be in his mind to be that way and to get all the money he wanted. He's
I
never
agree.
a poor man. I know this man, John Gotti, since he was a kid too. I respect the floor he walks on. I think he's one of the best gentlemen I ever seen in my life.
Joe DeCicco's brother George is an alleged Gambino
Big
crime family
Georgie.
captain. His nephew Frank DeCicco was once the Gambino underboss until he was blown up when his car exploded one Sunday morning in Bay Ridge. In Joe Decicco's world, guys who still have the respect of certain other guys do not give interviews until now because Joe Decicco believes Sammy Gravano was behind his nephew's murder.
He's the man who killed my nephew, Frankie Decicco. In my heart, I know it.
Why are you saying that Sammy did this?
I know he was dying to get my nephew's job of being with the union, local 282, and all the rest of the locals. And all the money that he's been making. And he knew he couldn't go any further unless my nephew was out of the picture.
You've been in court every day. You've been watching Sammy Gravano on the stand. You say you know him from the time he was a kid.
That's right.
What's going through your mind watching this?
What's going through my mind? I'm starting to see the truth, what he really is.
Decicco says that includes how Gravano allegedly killed his wife's brother.
He killed him and chopped them up in pieces.
This is fucking.
And then how the family find out, the dog happened to come walking in where he found the hand of the body.
Put in his mouth.
That's how the family knew that that boy was chopped up and was dead. They had no idea where he was.
Are there any last points that you'd like to make tonight before
What I would like to make, I
close the
just want to say this. I gave you my name, and I want the world to know that I said this. That should be a verdict of not guilty on Mr. John Gotti. That's my last words.
The jury spoke.
New York.
What?
No, I was saying the jury spoke, not guilty. You should have listened to him.
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What just happened? All right. Yeah, that's a beautiful interview, bro. That guy is fantastic.
Yeah, he's the best, man. Marlon Brando's got nothing on him, man. That voice is great.
Nothing. Nah, he should have been like Tony Sirico, bro. Like 30 years earlier, he should have said, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna be an actor.
Would have nailed
You
it.
know what I mean?
Would have
Yeah.
fucking nailed it for sure.
Tony Duck says, sounds like Joe Decicco is going to say, I know Sammy wanted my nephew's job as Teamster boss of Local 282. Yeah. Yeah, he almost had a Freudian slip there, right?
Yeah. Well, what was the 282? Is that the concrete? Well, I don't know what 282 is. I wonder what that is.
I'll be honest, I don't either. Somebody in here knows, though.
Yeah.
Which one was 282?
Yeah, I'd be interested just to see which one that was.
Construction, probably. It probably was. Let's see.
So, Boss Man says Castle wouldn't have worked with Gravano after the Castellano hit because it would have meant going against the chin. What does he mean by that? Castle wouldn't have worked with Gravano. Oh, he wouldn't have. Oh, yeah, because that's my whole thing, though, is that, the claim that Gravano was doing this shit with Casso, after to take out another, underboss or something like that, after the Chin and all these guys were wondering what the hell happened, that would have just made things even worse, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
You
most
know?
likely. Yep.
Yeah.
Big Lou says, I just seen that clip last night at the ice cream truck, Pete Gotti and Joe Decicco. That's a fucking classic, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. They got a
Teamsters-
cookie puss.
Yeah. Cookie puss, yeah.
Yeah.
Otis Driftwood said trucking union, yeah. Teamsters, truck drivers.
Oh, truck drivers. Oh, no shit.
It's the Teamsters Union trucking. There you go.
Yeah, but here's the whole thing, though. Here's the whole thing. So let's say that claim is true, but Gravano never got into trucking or any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had 5 or 6 other things: asbestos, carpets, fucking flooring, concrete, construction. I mean, he had a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did. But there was never enough for him.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to preface it with and just say that, at the end of the day, I understand what anybody, could believe that, he was at the end of the day a green-eyed, one of these green-eyed guys who, wanted more and more and more. And he pretty much, his entire career was notorious for killing guys he was in business with and, taking their shares of the companies and doing stuff like that. But I just think it's a little bit of a stretch going from that to him, killing the underboss after all the shit that was going on, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. It is a concrete union now, they're saying. Sammy controlled the Teamsters union, concrete and cement. I go by what a lot of these guys say. Like, I know Otis is, I believe he's a Teamster, stuff like that. But it would make more sense if it was concrete trucks. Okay,
Oh,
that makes
concrete
more
trucks.
sense because of
Oh,
construction.
okay.
Because fucking,
Yeah.
I think the truckers that would be more like a Tommy Gambino type of thing, right?
Yeah, he had all the trucking. Yeah,
Yep,
that was definitely his. I think it still is too.
probably.
You know, those guys had
Look,
mega bucks there.
common sense. They're making fun of me. You made $2 on this entire show, you loser. That's all right. I made
Oh,
like 90 on the earlier one, so fuck off.
whatever.
Plus
Who the fuck cares?
a PayPal and a Venmo. So,
You know.
how much did you make on your show, Jacqueline? Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
they spent $8 paying for their fucking internet just to watch this shit to make that comment. You know.
Yeah, I know. Otis Driftwood, Teamsters Union is 282. All right, yeah. Johnny the Greek, I watched that Joe Decicco interview at least 500 times. I can't get enough of it. He's the real deal. He certainly is, man.
I know. Wouldn't it
It's
be great to
100.
get like a longer interview with the guy, like a 20-minute clip or something? You know, like fuck.
Oh, I fucking wish. Yeah.
You know.
When did he die, Joe Decicco?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. No clue. He looked. I'd say what that was early '90s, so I'm gonna go with, he looks like he's maybe in his '60s, '70s there, because his nephew was in his '50s when he died. So
Yeah, let me
I gotta
see
go with
here.
probably early 2000s, I would assume, or late '90s, something like that. Early 2000s.
It's funny when you look up Joe Decicco. I've done this before. All you seem to get is Georgie Decicco. Georgie Decicco died in 2014. Let's see.
And that was his nephew.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go probably late '90s, early 2000s.
most
Dritto
likely.
says he went to prison in the '90s.
Oh, okay. Drito 5K. Boss man, who knows? They were both greedy. Oh, you must be talking about. Yeah, Tommy Gambino controlled the Garment District trucking. He certainly did.
I always found that so interesting. All the different unions they got, like they have the cement shit, but then you need the cement trucks, or you need the guys that do the pouring or the fountain. You know what I mean? There's so many different fucking lanes with that stuff. You know what I mean? It's confusing, man.
I know. Brian Monahan, 2018. There's no fucking way. Joe DeChica, he'd have been 132 years old if he died in 2018.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
uh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Joe's still with us. Nah, he certainly isn't.
No, there's no way. He'd be like a fucking
Yeah,
120 by now.
yeah, he would. He was old back then, so
Yeah, I think it was late '90s, early 2000s though, if I remember. I just don't know like absolutely for sure, so I don't want to say because I don't know for sure. I don't want
yeah,
to be
most
like other
likely.
guys that say guys are dead that are fucking still walking around breathing. You know what I mean?
You mean like Matty Madonna?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say all that, but yeah, like Maddie Madonna. Shit, just pretty funny.
Yeah, it
A
is.
simple Google search fixes a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it certainly does. All right, you know what? I'm gonna let you go, Common Sense, because I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Thank you for coming on, though, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a good night. Later, everybody in the chat.
All right, bro.
Take care. Yep. Bye.
Peace. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Damien, but in the sense you could say they could have plans to do this or that. Sammy could have set up Gotti and gotten him killed and shit in Castle. Boss of bosses, but it's fantasy. Just trying to look at some comments I might have missed. No, I believe you, Otis. Chris, when you coming down to Philly, bro? It ain't gonna be long. I'll tell you what. I was getting ready today, honestly, at one point to come to Philly just to get a couple of pies from Lorenzo's. I was damn close. Speaking of the Gambino family, Andrew Campos was just sentenced to 37 months after pleading guilty to a racketeering indictment that involved wire fraud and tax fraud. Fraud also, Arnold Squiteri passed. Oh, I heard about the Campos thing. I don't know if I heard about Squiteri. Did he really? Joe Decicco was high up in the Italian American Civil Rights League. I'm quite sure he was. All right, guys. I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. I enjoyed this. Some more mob talk. It was fun. I appreciate Common Sense coming on to join me. I want to thank you guys for everything. If you'd like to donate, my Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo are in the description of this video. Don't forget, check out dimdlife.com, my new sponsor. All right. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. Until then, I love you all. Salute.